And you are with Spaceman on LocalnLive. Thank you very much for tuning in. That was Cumbia de Corazon by La Descarga, bringing some Colombian fiesta energy to the show.
Cumbia! Yeah.
Indeed. It is fiesta time. The weekend has arrived. And my guest who you can hear is Rafa from, he's from many different projects, but today representing Los Chavos. Welcome to the show, Rafa.
Thank you very much, Spaceman. A pleasure to hear some cumbia on a Friday afternoon on LocalnLive. A huge fan of this style of music. Anyone that knows me, I know that I'm a bit of a cumbia fiend, so it's really good to... I know that Canberra audiences are enjoying that on a Friday night as well.
Indeed. Well, it's very typical from Colombia, which is your home country.
So I was born and raised in Abel Conan to a Colombian parent, so I consider myself an authentic Abel Colombian. It's kind of born of two worlds, but growing up, my parents would play a lot of old school cumbia records and stuff at parties, so I feel like those bass lines, I travelled through the walls as a kid when I was like sleeping, and so they're like a part of my subconscious, so they trigger something primal in me, you know.
Part of your DNA.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
All right. Well, you of course are here to talk about tomorrow's big cumbia party.
I'm super excited for that one. Yeah, it's excited to have a touring band, a great band from Melbourne. I don't think they've ever played here in Canberra before as well, but they're a great exponents of like the Australian Latin scene, which is, I feel like Melbourne it's a big multicultural musical city as well. It's got the best kind of Australian Latin music in the country, I think, and a lot of really good Australian African music and like reggae and stuff as well. But I love this guy is kind of like those classic like Melbourne cumbia bands, are Latin fiesta bands, and they're kind of touring the country, and they reached out to us if we could I support them in their stop here in Canberra. So Los Chavos is gearing up to support La Descarga tomorrow at the Polo. It's a big fiesta weekend.
Indeed, that is on tomorrow at the Polo from 7:30 to 11. Tickets are available online through Humanitix. Now, Los Chavos, they're a popular presence in the local scene for over 15 years.
Yeah.
Can you briefly tell us the history? How did it first start?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, so I've been working playing a little bit with Chavos over the past 15 years, but the band was started by Andy, the front man. He's an amazing performer and a singer and a bundle of on stage energy from Bolivia, and he was kind of inspired by a lot of like Latin rock and like Latin ska bands that exist in South America. And then when he arrived to Australia, he just rounded up friends and players to play some covers of these songs, and then eventually it ended up really focusing on originals, actually. So there's a lot of covers bands around, especially in music like this. Like there's like salsa bands that primarily play covers, and it sounds amazing. It's a really good live experience. But what differentiates Los Chavos is the songwriting and the blended rhythms as well. Are quite a lot of interesting Latin American and Caribbean rhythms, blended with a lot of ska and like rock, and in recent years a bit of like rap and stuff as well. So it's a quintessential kind of Canberra band as well. So 15 years is a long time, and they've released an EP, a LP, and we've been gradually chipping away at a second album for too long, basically. But Canberra audiences are probably familiar with a lot of those new old tracks, but
if anyone's been to a Los Chavos gigs, they will know the energy that comes from it. Everyone's up and dancing. There's a horns brass section, which
a really
always
brass
makes
section,
for
a three-piece brass. It's amazing. Yeah.
And so Los Chavos does have more music online if you want to check it out. There is the album you mentioned, Superman,
A Superman, yep.
from 2012. There's the live album released last year that's available for free download on Bandcamp.
I guess that one kind of represents a more of the live sound and a lot of these new songs. It was recorded live at a local radio station, but
not this one.
I don't this one was the band's too big to fit in a studio, I think.
Yeah, we don't have that capacity to record bands. But
although I think there is a video from many years ago of some of the band in this very studio playing a live version of a song, an acoustic version. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Of course, you are no stranger to these studios, having hosted shows on this on 2XX before.
Yeah, I used to do a world music show actually. So being a big fan of music from around the world and African Caribbean music, I signed up to do a bit of a world music show here a couple of years ago. Yeah, it's kind of it's a pleasure to try and expose Canberra audiences to kind of sounds that I'm passionate and obsessed with as well. Canberra audience have a good taste, I think, as well. Over a small city, but international tastes, I think.
Yeah, we'll talk a bit more about your other projects a bit later on, but let's get back to tomorrow's show.
Yes.
Now, the show is on at the Polo, but it's going to be a real party. There's going to be, let me just read this. There's going to be conga lines, limbo contests.
Yeah, man.
There's going to be, the usual call and response. There's a lot of audience participation. There'll be some dance-offs. It's really going to be the party atmosphere and, really happy vibes. So people, if they're looking for a good time, that is the place to be.
Straight up. And don't let Canberra's fickle weather affect you, because I think it might rain tomorrow, but it'll be hot and sweaty inside the Polo.
Yeah, it's going to be indoors, undercover.
Yep.
Now, as well as this, if people are really interested in the cumbia music and want to learn more, La Descarga are holding a workshop tomorrow afternoon at the Belconnen Arts Centre from 2 p.m. till 3 p.m, and they're basically going to be promoting cumbia music and dance and all the rest of it.
You're kind of excited about that one as well, because they've as part of this tour, when the band stops in the city, they try and promote a bit of the roots and culture from that part of the world. They've got a really good history of hosting cultural workshops around Australia, and as you mentioned, at 2 p.m. tomorrow, if you're interested in learning a bit more about cumbia as a rhythm, as a dance as well, and a bit of the interesting history of this particular kind of rhythm that is a mixture of indigenous flutes and African drums, and then a bit later it incorporated European elements of like a brass section and accordion as well. But it's a real kind of people have described cumbia as the quintessential like Latin American beat. It's very malleable. You can do cumbia reggae, cumbia ska, cumbia rock, and it's got a lot of storytelling and a lot of depth as well. And La Descarga, I've got a really good grasp of how to communicate that to all ages and like take them on that journey. So we're excited to be helping them put that on. It's for, as I mentioned, it's for kids, it's for adults, it's for people with no musical background. They really give you a really good sense of what a cumbia as rhythm kind of means. And a local band, a local samba band, Arrao de Sol, is assisting a La Descarga to put on this workshop as well. So shout outs to them as well.
Yeah, they're a local percussion.
Yeah, like street percussion.
Yep.
Yeah, ensemble, and a kind of community, a not-for-profit band. And they'll be lending a lot of their instruments to La Descarga to put on this workshop.
So my understanding is that's a ticketed event as well. Tickets can be purchased on Humanitix.
There is tickets, and I can also reveal a bit of a discount code to your listeners if you want as well. So we
love a bit of a discount code.
If you want $5 off this cumbia boom workshop, then at the ticketing payment section, type in the a secret password of a cumbia boom, a one word, and you'll get $5 off for that one.
So Cumbia Boom?
Yep.
CUMBIABOOM.
Straight up, yeah. Yep.
Oh, well, what are you waiting for? Get into it. All right. And shall we hear a song from Los Chavos?
I think we should. So I believe we're going to listen to one of the live ones, and this one is a bit more traditional salsa. Very good for the dance floor, and a lot of brass. I know, as Spaceman, you're a fan of brass in bands. So I think you'll like this one, man. Yeah,
I do. I reckon I should get a brass section for my band just to get the vibe going and get people up and dancing. So this is Keleden.
Keleden, yeah.
Keleden.
And it also features. I did mention a bit of like rap as well. So this one features Matthew Lustry on rap vocals, who coincidentally his birthday was this week. So happy birthday to Matthew Lustry from Los Chavos.
Indeed, happy birthday. And this is Keleden by Los Chavos.
He tratado de besarla, he tratado de saber lo que quiere esa mujer. He tratado de mirarla, he tratado de sobarla, he tratado de comprarla, pero no quiere moner. La mirada que ella pone caminando en tacones, vestido rojo y negro marcadito tiene el cuerpo. Ella todo está donde tengo yo, doy lo que tengo y ella es sexy, y sexy se queda. A ella le gusta que le den música. 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 Convencerla, he tratado que se venga, he tratado de alimentarla, pero no quiere papaya, he tratado de echarla, he tratado de explorarla, he tratado de surecharla, pero no puedo voltearla. Y así tú me quieres, mami, no me digas, mami, cuántas veces digo, mami, porque me siento, mami, te ves muy linda, mami, pero no hay nada que nada, kilómetros de aquí, no se queda nada. A ella le gusta que le den música. 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 Día viene ahí, qué rico te sostiene a mí, amortiguando la caída me mantiene y cara a cara vengo a verte, el momento se pone verde y tú, madurita, riquita, bonita me tienes, suave, suave, yo te vengo más delando, buscando formas para poder conquistar y estar feliz con mis ojos fin y el fin a huevo. House Mouse viene con este rico bolero.
It's about to bounce to these miraculous minis, Mary Magnifique, yo, the shit's about to get silly. Watching the sperm as I deliver my weight, fresh lyrical warmth and a turning face to face. She said she ain't the type of girl, but I know who she is, and she like to play the game and shit that she don't go and visit. MTV your rage, and ride a lovely stage, she loved that shit all night, so let's give her what she craves.
A ella le gusta que le den música. 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 Y así tú me quieres, mami, no me digas, mami, cuántas veces digo, mami, ay, qué rico, mami. Y ese canto se va, mi amor. Y así tú me quieres, mami, cuántas veces digo, cuántas veces hablo, cuántas veces tengo. Los chavos van cantándote la canción. said, mommy, ay, mamita rica, ay, qué linda está. Suave, suave, vienes agarrando, buscando forma para poder conquistar y estar. Los chavos dicen adiós, te dicen adiós.
2XXFM 98.3, people-powered radio in Canberra since 1976. Now in our 5th decade and still going strong with your support. Visit 2XXFM.org.au to listen online and find out how to subscribe, donate, sponsor, or become involved as a volunteer at your community station.
And you're on LocalnLive with Spaceman, and I'm joined by Rafa in the studio here.
What's up, Canberra?
And we are having a fiesta.
Friday fiesta in the house.
Rafa is here to talk about the gig tomorrow, Los Chavos at the Polo with Melbourne Latin tropical band La Descarga. But you are part of many other projects as well.
Yeah, so I do a couple of other musical things here. I'm a part of that a community samba band, Arrao de Sol. We've been going for about 12 years as well. It's a really nice kind of fun a community project all about giving people access to music and like playing street drums.
And this is open to anyone who wants to join.
Yeah, with regardless of like musical experience, and then and you may have like seen us play at Multicultural Festival, or I've actually played a folk festival this year as well.
Okay.
It's really good street music, super fun, and it's just acoustic percussion in the style of like a Brazilian, like Rio samba, baterias. But we don't. We're not strict about the like genre. Some samba bands are very strict about we only play like Rio style samba, but we play whatever we. It's just cool drumming, yeah. And apart from that, I am also a part of this Way Orkestra, which is like a 10-piece Afrobeat band. We were called a Nyash when we first started, and then we had a big hiatus of a couple of years, and then we reformed with some new members, including a vocalist, Jim Sharrock from a couple of other bands, and it's super fun to be playing percussion in that one as well. I'm kind of surrounded by amazing jazz musicians, with me just in the background playing like clave and like shekere. It's a big fan of the band, and being part of
that's like an 8-9-piece band, that one?
10-piece
10, right.
band, yeah. So 2 guitarists and 4-piece brass, yeah. So it's pretty big, yeah.
Brass again, there you go.
Man, yeah. I've got to get your band a bit of brass, man. I think we can. I think we should line that up, man. Yeah.
Brass is class.
Yeah.
Yep. I've seen This Way Orkestra perform many times. It's always a good atmosphere and good energy.
We're playing pretty soon. Got 2 gigs in May. 2nd of May at the Basement. But tickets haven't been released for that one, and then also 16th of May at the Irish Club as well. So we've been on a bit of a musical pause, recording some new stuff as well. So it's going to be exciting to present that.
That'll be out this year sometime?
Yeah, definitely this year. So actually last night we were literally recording backup vocals, like shouts and like yells and claps as well.
Claps, yeah.
So it was pretty cool, yeah.
Can you get that wrong, the hand claps?
You most certainly can when 10 people are trying to clap at the same time. It's a bit chaotic sometimes, yeah.
Right. You'd think with the Raiders and their fans here, we would get the clap correct in Canberra.
Oh, yeah, there is that Raiders clap, isn't it?
Yeah. Anyway, I'm not here to talk about football, although I brought it up. Let me drop it. All right. And what else you got going on?
Oh, yeah, I do a bit of community radio as well. Playing like world music on a community radio as well.
Yep.
So I'm all music related.
The station that will not be named.
I remain nameless, yeah.
And you often put on other Latin music events under the company name Clandestino?
It's true, yeah. So not just Latin, but like stuff, like roots, reggae stuff, and a bit of kind of multicultural stuff. I try and focus on like reggae stuff, actually. A big kind of reggae and a fan. That's kind of what inspired me. Back in the day, I go into Melbourne and go into big like reggae events, and I was like, we need something like this in Canberra. So I've been putting on events for something like 20 years now here. And it's really good to see kind of like new venues come up like Descent and stalwarts like Smiths and stuff. It's kind of good now, actually. I feel like all we need is I double the population in Canberra, and then we'll have a sustainable, a diverse music scene, you know,
Yeah, we've got the venues now. We've got the bands, the artists. We just need the audience, the punters.
Yeah.
And many of these gigs are well attended, but we could always do with more. All right, I have a random question for you.
Yes, I love random questions. Please go ahead.
All right.
I hope it involves a cumbia.
Oh, let me think about that. But while I'm thinking about that, if you could answer, what's the weirdest or funniest thing that's ever happened to you at a gig?
That's an interesting one. The kind of weirdest and kind of a quaint and like a cutest thing that's happened was at Los Chavos, a gig at the Multicultural Festival upwards of 5+ years ago, or maybe 7 years ago. Andy, the lead singer, actually proposed live to his fiancée from stage at the Multicultural Festival, surrounded by like thousands of people, and it was like super. I was like side of stage. It was like super cute and quite a memorable experience. The crowd was going kind of wild, actually. Yeah.
Right. Was his partner on stage as well?
She was in the crowd. So
right.
He's from stage.
Yep.
He asks her to come up, and then he proposes. And
okay.
Yeah, it was crazy, and yeah, they've got our 2 kids, and it was just a memorable moment for like for the band, and as a thing to see on stage, you know. Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Very romantic. We did invite Andy to come in today. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it, but we might have to get him in some other time.
You should definitely get him in to chat about his musical like life. He's got a very interesting story coming from a Cochabamba, got like performance and acting background, and he's just a very comedic dude. If you've ever seen Los Chavos live, he's at the beating heart of the band. You know, he's got a bit of that frontman performer's flair.
Indeed.
But definitely get him on. I think it was just busy with work, but maybe on a Monday or something. Yeah.
All right. So, anything else you needed to promote or plug?
No, just to say if listeners have got an interest or our curiosity has been piqued about a cumbia and this kind of transatlantic music that came from escaped slaves and indigenous peoples in Latin America. I come along to either workshop or the gig, and get a sense of what like a vibrant Colombian street culture has to offer, and get a lot of ska, a lot of reggae, a lot of jumping around, and get out of the rain. Yeah. So that's tomorrow. Polish Club, 7:30 to 11 p.m. Tickets, I believe, are $30. You can get them online, and of course, there is the Cumbia Boom workshop at the Belconnen Arts Centre tomorrow from 2 p.m. And that one's got the promo code a Cumbia Boom if you'd like a $5 discount. All right. Well, thanks very much for coming in today, Rafa. It's my pleasure, Spaceman. It's always good to come in the studio. And I've got to say, I'm loving what you've been doing with your time hosting LocalnLive, man. It's like really good to see a member of the local community kind of take up the reins of this a really good and historic like local radio show like LocalnLive. Well, thanks very much for the support. We are going to go out now with a track from this Way Orkestra. Yes, I've brought something in that's unreleased. It's a bit of a demo of the material we'll be releasing in a few months. This, I believe, is about COVID and getting a negative rat test. Yes, so Jim Sharrock penned this one about COVID and like rat tests, actually. Yeah, so it's a good track. Either we play live, and this is like a bit of a demo version in the studio. Yeah. All right, a bit of a teaser, an exclusive. Exclusive here. All right, LocalnLive exclusive. Straight up. Forget that other station that shall not be named. We have an exclusive right here. Straight up. On Friday. All right, thanks again, Rafa. My pleasure, man.
What's this called? Negative Rat?
Yep, it's called A Negative Rat.
All right, Negative Rat by This Way Orkestra.
I need a negative rat. Pet carcass from the wet market's not for your veins and not for your starters. Your first course could start a disaster. Man is bad karma, Osa Dalai Lama. It's a hot spot for a hot pot with a hedgehog and a root spot with the hot spot. And you can shop for a couple of koi poo, a hog badger and a mama too, or a little bit of that deep in the fats of Mondadon, pangolin fried, a pig fat, or a bat with the fever. Didn't clean the cleaver, put it in Wuhan, then flew it to Geneva. Through a state to change, mutate, or rearrange, replicate that RNA. Now you got the plague and it's a cold fact. I need a negative rat. 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 A cruise with my Buddha nephews. That's a boomers too, there for the ocean views. And who knew the crew would catch the flu en route from Tahiti to Honolulu? Yeah, it's bad juju, said the guru. There's a new flu on the menu, and when we got the port, you know they cut us so loose. You can get a ventilator at the ICU. Heck, we need a medivac, ready to helipad. Better keep it steady, cause this fella is a heavy lad. A hard hitter, always getting bigger. The biggest, the quickest, the fittest, puppy in the litter, man. Can't you tell he's an XXL? So quarantine the sucker in a cheap hotel. Then it's back to business for the fat cats and me. I need a negative rat. 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 That's right. Because a negative is a positive is, and when it gets repetitive, I need a little sedative. This is the last one. Negative is and positive is, when it gets repetitive, I need a little sedative. All right, here we go. Solo.
At 2XXFM 98.3, your support is important to us. Become part of your community station by subscribing, donating, sponsoring or volunteering. Visit us at 2XXFM.org.au.